Hi there, and today was June the 1st, so I rushed straight to the LEGO store to see all the new LEGO set releases, but I left home a little bit late and I got to the LEGO store just a couple of minutes after opening time. However, there was already a huge queue outside the store and also in the middle of the shopping centre walkway. Because there were so many people in the store, I actually had to queue outside for just over half an hour before I could even get in. But queuing for such a long time did mean I got to have a good look at all the sets they'd had displayed in the window. First, they had the Best Friend of Stitch, a buildable angel set. Then they had the new LEGO Friends comic book store, which if you're interested also has the new dark turquoise classic space helmet in the set. And lastly, in that display case, they had the 3-in-1 Wild Animals Pink Flamingo set. Just above that, they had the new Simpsons Krusty Burger set, which for the first few days is only available to LEGO Insiders, but which was one of the sets that I was after this morning. And the really cool gift we purchased with the Krusty Burger set was this little Simpsons living room diorama. So you can recreate the opening scene of every Simpsons episode with all the characters sitting on the sofa, although it looks a little bit too short and might need modifying to make it longer. Below that, they had the new Space Shuttle Carrier aircraft, which in my initial review when we first saw the leaked images of this, I think I was a little bit too harsh, and seeing this set actually in the flesh is a lot more impressive than the pictures of it were. And being a kid of the 80s and constantly watching space shuttle launches, I think this is actually a set I might get at some point. And then lastly and most importantly in the window, of course they had the new minifig vending machine, which was obviously the main reason I was there, to get those all-important dark turquoise and pearl gold classic spacemen. However, while I was waiting, one of the staff members, Jack, told me that they'd actually run out of the minifig vending machine. But fortunately, he came back a few minutes later to say they'd found some more and they were just putting 6 more out on the shelves. But once I finally got in, I got the disastrous news that yes, they had actually sold out. So no turquoise or gold spacemen for me today. I wanted to make sure that I got the other sets that I wanted, so I quickly grabbed hold of one of the Simpsons Krusty Burger shops, and I went to the Dreams section and I managed to get hold of the last copy of Matteo's spray paint truck for those 2 all-important parts of the dark blue air tanks and the dark blue space helmet. And they actually had the amazing spray paint truck built in one of the display cases. However, in the display copy, Albert, sitting up at the top, mysteriously didn't have a dark blue classic space helmet on. He had a dark blue motorcycle helmet. So mysteriously, somehow his air tanks and his classic space helmet have been jettisoned off into space somewhere. Let's just hope he manages to find them at some point in the future. So my daughter Minifig Daisy and I both then rifled through the Builder Minifig Tower to make sure we could at least get the new light blue spaceman. And while we were there, we made sure we got a copy of all of the new 7 minifigures for this quarter, plus a couple of extra light blue spacemen to make up the numbers of 3 in a box. So we'd got into the store about 11:40, and after getting the 2 sets and all the minifigures, it was now about 5 to 12, and I bumped into my good friend and fellow YouTuber Brick Bargains, who is queuing up to get the new pink Honda S2000 Speed Champion set. And the queue to pay behind him was still all the way down the length of the store to the doors. So before joining the mammoth queue, I thought I'd just take a look at some of the other new sets that they had out and had already built and put on display. Firstly, there was the amazing looking new Hogwarts Castle main tower. Now this is an absolutely huge set, but it does actually click together with the Hogwarts Great Hall set from last year. And allegedly this is going to be a continuing theme with different sets that are going to be able to click together and make the largest Hogwarts castle that LEGO have ever produced. Another new Harry Potter set out today was the new Privet Drive set. Now the previous 2 Privet Drive sets have both been facades, however this is more of an enclosed modular building which can open up and have 2 facades, or you can close it up and have it a complete building. And the best bit of the set is obviously that huge Aunt Marge floating off into the distance. Jack, who'd spoken to me earlier, told me that he was in the store very late last night building a lot of the city sets to go on display. And in the first display they had the new amazing looking bulldozer set, which does look absolutely fantastic. I'm not personally one who generally collects the construction sets in LEGO City theme, but I do appreciate how good it looks. Next to that, they had the new Mammoth City Tower set. Now again, this is not a set for me, but I'm not the target audience for it. At the top, you've got one of those brand new LEGO City Pigeons with a space rocket ready to launch off. Then on the left, there's a construction crane. On the right, a skateboard ramp. And then down the bottom, a fire car, a train, and a police car. Absolutely everything you could need for a LEGO City. Slightly further along, they had the new emergency air ambulance plane. Now the last LEGO City plane we got was an absolutely mammoth passenger liner. And I personally prefer these slightly smaller planes. And the colour scheme scheme on this one, being the emergency air ambulance, looked really good. Now, absolutely loving all things to do with Lego City trains. Next to that, there was also the new train station. Now, this has slightly odd proportions. It's a lot taller than most stations that Lego have ever made before, but you do get 2 more of those important Lego pigeons, which at some point I'm going to need to buy an awful lot of. I really like the glass canopy on the left, however I do feel it needs to be a lot longer. If I ever buy this set, it's definitely one I'd need to modify to increase the size of the left hand side. Then last for the Lego City displays, they had the new Lego City police boat. Now this is made from one of those one-piece hulls which can actually float in water, but it's a brand new shape that we haven't had before. I really like this one because it's slightly less square and boxy than the ones we've had before. It's got a really nice curved shape to it. So again, I think it's another one to put on my wanted list. It may not stay as a police boat, but I really do like the shape of that dark blue hull. And then the last set I picked up before paying was the new Arctic Explorer train set, which has 2 brand new pieces of track, a re-railer and a new action piece. So after looking around for a while, chatting to Brick Bargains and some staff members and some other shoppers as well, when I finally got to the front of the queue to pay, it was nearly 10 to 1, and the queue was still all the way down the length of the store to the doors. I was expertly served by Nick and I managed to get the Simpsons gift with purchase, so Minifig Daisy and me took our 2 giant bags of Lego and left the store to take them back to the car. And absolutely nothing to do with Lego, while we were putting them in the back of the car, we noticed an absolutely beautiful black McLaren Artura parked opposite us. So shiny you could see your face in it, with bright McLaren orange brake calipers. So back home with everything I got, and they were the Arctic Explorer train set, the new Simpsons Krusty Burger store, with the Simpsons Lounge gift with purchase, Matteo's spray paint truck for the dark blue spaceman parts, and of course all of this quarter's builder minifigures, including 2 extra ones of those light blue classic space torsos to add to my display. Now I have ordered the minifig vending machine online and it'll be here in a couple of days, so I have just got to wait a few more days before I can extend my display with all the colours of spacemen. So that'll be in a video slightly later on this week. But until then, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you buy any during the first release day sets yourself? And if you did, let me know what they were. If you'd like to support the channel and maybe get your name on a brick like these guys have, click on the join button below and it'll give you all the details. Or easier than that, if you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up. But of course, please subscribe for more Lego videos.